Human interaction is a complex game of shadows. Every day, we operate behind carefully constructed masks, curating our expressions, polishing our words, and projecting the exact version of ourselves we want the world to see. It is a necessary social contract. For most of history, we've accepted this illusion as reality. But beneath that surface lies a vast ocean of subconscious processing. Every hidden tension, suppressed thought, and micro-emotion leaves a physical imprint long before the conscious mind can conceal it. Words can easily be rehearsed, but the human nervous system is an honest mechanism. It simply cannot lie to an observer who knows precisely what to look for. You likely know this phenomenon from iconic figures in fiction, like Patrick Jane in The Mentalist, a man who penetrates the deepest psychological facades with a single glance. Most people dismiss this level of perception as Hollywood magic. The uncomfortable truth is that the mechanics used to read the human mind like an open book are disturbingly real. These principles were tested in behavioral labs, refined by forensic profilers, and deployed by military interrogators under extreme pressure. What if you could view every conversation through that exact same cold, analytical lens? What if no one could manipulate or misdirect you again, simply because you learned to decode the invisible signals the brain broadcasts without realizing it? When you engage in conversation, your conscious mind naturally focuses on the words being spoken. That is your biggest vulnerability. Words are cheap, planned, and easily controlled. The first lesson of human decoding is to bypass the spoken narrative and focus on what happens in the microscopic window before a single word is produced. Whenever someone is hit with a probing or uncomfortable question, immediate friction occurs in their limbic system. Long before the logical brain can formulate a safe answer, subconscious impulses fire directly into the facial muscles. Only after this involuntary reaction does the prefrontal cortex pull up a rehearsed mask. For a fleeting fraction of a 15th of a second, the raw truth leaks out. If a colleague smiles and praises your idea, but their inner eyebrows twitch together right before that smile appears, the praise is a lie. You just witnessed subconscious doubt that the conscious mind tried to suppress. The deadliest trap for beginners is confirmation bias, believing that crossing arms or breaking eye contact automatically means someone is lying. Amateurs rely on rigid myths. True behavioral experts never analyze a gesture in isolation. They rely on baseline calibration. During the first 5 minutes of any interaction, your goal is not to judge or probe, but to observe the person in a zero-stress state. Engage in trivial small talk about the weather or traffic. Map their baseline. How fast do they speak when relaxed? What is their normal shoulder tension? How often do they blink per minute? How wide are their natural hand gestures? This is the unique biological signature under normal conditions. If you find this hidden architecture of human psychology valuable, hit the like button and subscribe right now to ensure you don't miss our upcoming psychological breakdowns. Once their baseline is locked in, pivot the conversation toward the critical topic. If a person who normally moves their hands freely suddenly locks their arms rigidly against their torso, or if their blink rate spikes from 15 to 40 blinks per minute, you have struck a nerve. It is never the gesture itself that betrays deceit, it is the abrupt rupture from their established baseline. In that second, their brain floods the bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline, triggering micro-flinches, pupil changes, and muscle tremors that cannot escape a calibrated observer. When dealing with a smart, practiced liar, physical cues alone can sometimes be hidden behind a calm facade. To shatter that facade, deploy targeted cognitive overload. Telling the truth requires almost zero computational power. It is stored as a complete sensory memory. Fabricating a lie, however, places extreme strain on the prefrontal cortex. The liar must create a fictional scenario, ensure it doesn't contradict facts, monitor your reactions, and fake composure all at once. Instead of asking them to repeat their story from the start, which they have already rehearsed linearly, disrupt their computational architecture. Demand that they recount the timeline in exact reverse order, or interrupt them with hyper-specific peripheral questions. What music was playing in the background? An honest mind navigates sensory memory effortlessly. A liar's processing engine rapidly overheats. Their speech stutters, long pauses emerge, and the artificial facade completely crumbles. You are no longer just a passive participant in human interactions. You are becoming an analytical observer of human nature. Start practicing today by focusing exclusively on Step 1, calibrating the baseline of the people around you. In Part 2 of this series, we will unlock the covert charm offensive, dissecting how to leverage the halo effect and subconscious mirroring to build instant authority and trust in under 30 seconds. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Which of these 3 techniques will you test first today? Let me know in the comments below.